What's up, everybody? Well, I got another little video for you guys today, and today we're gonna fix a problem. So I'll just really quickly tell the story of what happened, because I think I explained it briefly in 2 videos real quick, but not everybody watches every video I make, so most people probably aren't even gonna know this was a problem. Either way, I recently got a nice 4K screen for that $800 PS5 Pro PC that I made, and I was getting it all hooked up and ready to make the very first video on it. You know, where we actually got screen recorded gameplay and all that. I got it almost all hooked up. And then all of a sudden I heard a click. And that was my Alienware, my R10, just, restarting. So I thought, oh, must have had a Windows update or anything. Didn't think too much of it, In opportune time, but hey, I thought to myself, at least it didn't do it while I was recording or some shit. But then I got done hooking everything up and was just about to hook the cords up into the capture card. And then I went up and looked and I was like, oh, it's in recovery mode. What the fuck? Well, luckily, it's probably not the GPU, or I wouldn't be seeing this screen right now, so thankfully that's probably not a problem. But I couldn't get it to restart, no matter what. I'd restart it, it would act like it was going to boot into Windows, and the second it went to the little, should have shown you the welcome screen, it instead restarted and put you right back into recovery mode. So I was like, uh-oh, we must have lost something like some RAM, or maybe the SSD's all fucked up, or the power supply's on the fritz, or something weird's happening. But decided, well, instead of getting all pissed or anything, let's just open the computer up and see if we can see anything visual. Like maybe the all-in-one finally sprung a leak and started spraying water all over the place. So hopefully not. I always go to the worst case scenario, but that's what I thought at first. So open the thing up, and then no. This guy right here, this ASRock Media Live Gamer 4K, instead of doing its normal RGB shit, it was just flashing red. So I was like, oh, did that die? Let's try turning off that PCI slot. Turn the PCI slot off. Bam, booted into Windows, no problem, had no issues. Went in, ran a bunch of benchmarks, didn't have any crashes, shutdowns, nothing. So then I decided, okay, well, what happens if we re-enable it? And I got it to boot into Windows one time with it flashing red like that, but the second you put anything into it, instantly restarts it and puts you back into recovery mode. So I was like, okay, I think this thing must just be cooked. And I can't see anything visually wrong with it besides, I don't even know if I can show you this. There's a little tiny chip right there. I don't know if you guys can even see it. I'm trying to get it into focus. There we go. Actually, no, my camera's badass. But you see how it's got the little white thing there? I don't know nothing about chip stuff, but none of the other chips have a white dot like that. So I thought maybe that had something to do with it, but it's probably just, from its process of being made. It's probably just some goop or something. I doubt that's anything fried. Normally when stuff fries on this shit, you have a big old black mark. Or nothing at all. So it probably just decided to die. Doesn't mean it's a bad product or anything, but it was cheaper than these Elgatos. I think I paid like $169 for this thing on Amazon, and it lasted about 6 to 8 months, I think I've had it, because I basically had it in this Alienware since the day I got it. It was to be the secondary capture computer. So I'm not going to trust these guys again, unless it's not their fault. Who knows? Maybe the port died, because turning the dead port off would let you boot back into Windows too, so I hope not. But I decided I was just going to get a carbon copy of the 4K Pro that I have in my other capture computer that I was using for all my handhelds and stuff. And people are probably thinking, well, what the fuck, dude? Why don't you just use that for everything? Well, like an idiot, I didn't screw in any of the things to the actual motherboard tray. It's one of those motherboard trays where you build everything outside. And like an idiot, I didn't think, hey, maybe I should screw in all my graphics cards and my capture cards. I figured I could just do that later in case they were going to interfere with something and don't, have to undo stuff a bunch of times. But nope, I got all done and realized you cannot fit a screwdriver or even your fingers in there to put any screws in. So that means my GPU and that capture card are just kind of floating. Luckily, the motherboard sits flat and gravity helps, but if you start plugging things in, you could start making that GPU or that capture card come out of the PCI slot just a little bit. So I didn't want to deal with any of that rigmarole or have to take this giant monitor off, take the glass off, do all this shit, and then fix it. Maybe next time I go to Dust, which is probably coming up soon, maybe then I'll do that, and then it won't be a problem anymore. But I figured, let's just go get a new capture card and use the secondary capture computer as its intended purpose, So, long intro and all that shit, but I just figured I'd show you guys what we were going to do. So, now we're going to hop on in there and plug this freaking capture card in and hope to God it's not the freaking port. So, I guess, let's get started. Well, alright, we got the new Elgato thing all in there. I was going to show you guys the process, but the process was A, extraordinarily easy, and B, there was really no good place for me to put the camera where my arm or hand or something wouldn't have been in the way, to all you would have really seen is arm elbow, armpit, nothing nobody wants to watch. So I was like, nah, let's just do it. This thing's toolless and easy. You pull one latch, the side panel opens, you pull another latch, the PSU swings out, you put your stuff in, no tools, no nothing, and then you close everything back up and everything's fine. So pretty straightforward, nothing really to show. So figured let's just skip that and get right to the first boot and see if we immediately go right back to getting stuck in whatchamacallit mode. I guess I bashed into that a little bit. Yeah, most people probably wouldn't be able to tell that that's off. I'm weird. All of my stuff is like perfectly where it needs to be, and then this one got pushed over, probably by kitties behind. I like having them so where my monitor, if it moves or wiggles a little, it's not sitting there just going bunch, 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 bunch between the two speakers and making a bunch of racket, you know? Because this table is a kind of cheap table. I should get a new table, but see, you move it just a little bit and everything fucking wobbles. So definitely could use a better one. It's a $100 table, what we really expect. I got it just to do videos on originally. I was never really intending to put a real system on it like this in the first place. But hey, why don't we stop blabbing? We'll do our first usual, little hit for good luck. Either it's good luck and it's gonna work, or hey, I won't be as pissed when it doesn't work because I'll be a little more stoned. Well, alrighty. Let's see if she boots up or into Windows or if we go into recovery mode. Because if we go back to recovery mode, it must be the port on the motherboard that's fucked up, the PCI slot. So let's see what's what. Alright, well, I hear it booting to Windows, so that's a good sign. Why I don't have a picture? I haven't the foggiest. Oh, I know why. Sometimes this monitor, when it sits in idle mode, and I haven't figured out a way to shut it completely off, so I just have to come back here and unplug it from its little wall thing. Unplug it and plug it in, and it usually gives me a picture after that. I think it just got stuck in limbo. Or we really do have no picture now, and that's a problem. Ooh, yeah, that's definitely a problem, because it should definitely be working right now. So I guess let's power it back off, and we'll try again, because it might just not be doing any signal to the GPU now with that thing installed. It might just be the port, Because if I take that Elgato back out, and then all of a sudden, yeah, we've definitely got a problem here. So yeah, it looks like it was the port that probably died. You plug anything into it and now you can't get a signal from your GPU. Because GPU was working just fine before. Like, we'll just do this live. Let's just turn this off and we'll just do this live. We'll pull the thing right back out of there. Here we go. That's kind of a shame. I was hoping this would just be a simple, Alright, take that out and let's see if we have a picture now. Yeah, now it might go into whatchamacallit mode, because I just shut it off. But this is what it was doing to me before, yesterday. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it to get into Windows, but as soon as I took that other port thing out, all of a sudden, it worked. Dude, there's nothing for you to repair, just let me restart. This is why I kind of don't like these, like Dells and Alienwares and all that stuff. They try so hard to do this nonsense. Nope, see? Now we got this. Now, can it get into the Windows, though? Because it would do that, and then it would restart and get stuck in an infinite loop. Alright. Yeah, it's probably just telling me, yeah, that shit didn't work out quite so well because it shut down. Yep, I don't care about signing into my Razer stuff right now. I don't even know what that window's there for. But yeah, so that's kind of a shame. So I guess I'll fiddle around with that and we'll see if maybe I just installed it improperly. It wasn't like seeded maybe. But I have a sneaking suspicion the port is just dead, and that's, I think, yeah, that's the only other PCI slot that's not blocked by the card. There would be another 2X underneath my GPU, but it's a 2-slot card, so it's, obviously you can't put a thing in there. So I'm gonna go fiddle around for a little bit. I'm not losing hope yet, but it doesn't seem like it's as easy as just putting a new card in and now you're all good. So I'm gonna go fiddle. Well, this seems to be kind of lame. Seems that now the GPU's PCI slot also doesn't want to work anymore. Because remember how I said without a capture card installed, it would boot into Windows just fine. It wouldn't act up. It could play games without crashing or anything. Well, unless what I just did fixed it. In one last ditch effort, I decided, well, reseating the GPU doesn't work. I never touched it anyway, but I tried that. So now we're going to try taking the CMOS. I tried taking the CMOS battery out, unplugging it for like 5 minutes, and that was the only thing else I could try. Just resetting the CMOS, making the thing think it's brand new again. Maybe it'll click back and think, hey, I need to be using my GPU. Unless whatever's going on is just slowly killing ports. And now it made it up to the GPU, and it would have just stopped working like tomorrow when I went to go make just a video on the thing. But let's go see what happens. So far, it's giving me no picture. I can hear it booting into Windows, though. I can hear the ding thing that it makes when it's booting into Windows, but I cannot get it to give me a signal into my GPU, and I know that GPU's not dead all of a sudden. It was working just fine. Yeah, now this time we're getting like a flashing yellow Alienware thing, kind of like my laptop does. So yeah, there must just be some hardware problem with this thing. But hey, you buy a $450 Alienware off eBay, it's probably like buying a used car. They probably put some duct tape on it or whatever, got whatever it was fixing and let it go down the road a little bit. But then you use the car for a week or so and it just shits the bed on you. I feel like we might be in the same situation right now. It just started with the port that the capture card was attached to. So I don't think that ASRock card is fucked at all, probably. It probably is the port. Because why would it mess up when I put the Elgato in too? And then not give me a picture, you know? It was acting the exact same. So I think this thing is probably actually fine. But, unfortunately, that doesn't really do us any good here. Now, maybe it has to train some memory and stuff, and maybe it will just post. But I severely doubt it. This is not DDR5 or anything like that, so it shouldn't really take that long to train memory or anything. That used to be a pretty quick affair in times of old, and it still is on like Intel stuff. But AMD with its memory training of DDR5 is really, really slow to the point where I've a few times thought, is there something broken? Because it takes like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, I think. On my secondary computer over here, every time you start it up, it gives you no screen for like a minute and some change, and then it finally clicks on. And I haven't been able to fix it. No BIOS updates, no nothing. So far, I haven't even heard the ding-to-the-ding this time, so I don't even think it's in Windows this time. It's probably like in that recovery mode bullshit again. And I have no picture, so I have no idea what it's doing. So, all right, let's just try to, well, let's give it a couple more seconds. I'll just give it a couple more seconds, shoot the shit with you guys for a second. I know this isn't going to be a very interesting video, but I needed to vent because I don't usually get angry at stuff too often anymore, but I really like making videos for you guys, and I use this thing as a capture computer, so without that, I can't really do what I normally do. Now, I can easily probably get my other computer to just do everything, but that means I have to take my motherboard out, screw everything down, so when I'm plugging stuff into the capture card, I'm not wiggling it its way out of there, and then I break that thing's PCI slot too or something somehow. Because then we're really done. Then I'd have no computers that were good enough for that. I'm not going to use my main or TV PC and lug them over here every time. I'd have to just build another computer, you know? Which is probably what I'll end up doing over here. I'll just make another video saying, hey, sorry guys, the Alienware is dead. This is why you should probably not buy cheap Alienwares off eBay. This can happen. It might not happen, but it sure could, like it did to me. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I was just kind of chilling, setting up for the next video. I look over, hear a click. Oh, everything's probably fine. It's John doing his update, but nope, it was in recovery mode. So that right just then might have been that PCI slot had enough or something on the motherboard had enough. I don't know what on the motherboard controls all that shit anymore. Back in the day, it used to be the South Bridge that did all that shit, and then the North Bridge connected like your RAM to your fucking CPU and all that other shit. I think. I could be misremembering all of that. It's been a fucking while since I studied and learned all of that shit. But eventually they just got rid of that. There doesn't really seem to be a North Bridge anymore. Now everything is just like that chip that's kind of like right underneath your GPU, which I don't even think is called the South Bridge anymore. They'd probably just call it like the chip or something like that. I don't know. Well, it doesn't seem like it's training memory or anything. I feel like it would have given us a screen if it was going to. So I'm just going to try restarting it one more time. I don't think it's going to work. But how funny would that be? Sometimes you guys are lucky for me. I can reverse psychology shit into working properly. Because I'll go try and make a video of you, hey look, I was going to get you the footage on this game, but the thing won't let me. And then when I try to show you guys it failing, it all of a sudden works. And I'm like, haha, fuck you. I wanted to make a video of it anyway. So now I'm going to. So, hey, we got sound this time, but as you can plainly see, no video. No matter what I do, I can't get it to give me a video now. And at first I thought I wasn't going to get back to this screen. This is the first time I've heard the dink-to-dink in a while. Before it was just doing nothing. So, hey, you guys at least did reverse psychology at halfway. We at least are back into Windows. I know we're in Windows, so I guess I'm just going to let it sit there for a little bit. Maybe it'll like have Windows install some drivers, but since everything was already installed, I don't think it would do anything like that. Resetting your CMOS doesn't do anything Windows side, so as far as Windows is concerned, everything is as it always was now, so you should be getting a picture, and we're not. So, yeah, sucks. I think we'll just have to build ourselves another computer here. Now, I could harvest a bunch of the parts from this thing. I could take its CPU, I could take its RAM, I could take its M.2 drive and all that shit, but I don't really want to use any other parts from this thing. Who knows? I might even be able to get it working again. I'd hate to tear it apart when it would literally be something as easy as, oh, all you have to do is this, hold down like Control Alt, blah, 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 and now all of a sudden you can force your GPU to like work again. I've had people tell me shit like that after I've already disassembled the computer a couple years later. I'm like, ah, son of a bitch. So that's all I had to do? But I don't think that's going to help us here. No, I think that all the PCI slots are probably just cooked on this thing at this point, and now it's not going to give us anything out or nothing. I mean, I guess I could try one more thing. Maybe I could go try putting my GT 1030 that I used just to test if everything is working or not, or one of my other GPUs. I could take the good GPU out and see if we get a picture. Maybe it really did kill my GPU too. That would be really freaking lame. Back when I got that thing for a steal. I got that RX 9070 for $509. That was a really good deal. I think I got that one off Newegg or something like that. Maybe it was Amazon. I can't remember. I think it was Newegg though. But anyway, sorry this video has just been basically me just yakking into a camera with not a whole lot happening. I figured this was just going to be a short video of me putting in a new capture card at working and then going and making videos for the day. But apparently it's not that easy. I'm going to have to just not make some videos for a little bit here. Luckily, I've already got a humongous amount of them made. It's just like when I broke my hand, I already pretty much have almost as many in the backlog. So I could probably just upload videos for a solid month and some change, maybe even 3 months, and never need to make another video. But new games are coming out all the time. I don't want to leave you guys hanging with those, so I'm going to go figure this out, either get this thing working somehow, or we're going to go ahead and just build a new computer around that RX 9070, maybe with a little bit more modern parts this time, because I know that CPU holds it back a tiny bit in certain situations, not very often, but there's a couple of times there I saw it not be able to hit 100%. But anyway, I think that's about time to wrap up, so I'm going to take me like an outro hit like I usually would, because usually I'd come back in, already have taken the hit, and been like, all right, peace out, guys, but I've just been yakking to you the whole time, staring at a black screen. But yeah, let's get that done. Yeah, sometimes computers can be lame. They are not perfect. I think it's kind of funny how it's the more expensive one. Well, I guess it wasn't. It was $450. The only thing that made it the $1,070 computer is the $509 GPU that got stuffed into it. Either way, that's all for the video. I still hope you guys enjoyed watching me fail and rant and what have you. I like keeping you guys up to date when shit breaks. So I think Alienware dead. Sucks, but it is how it is. But if I can get it to work, I will definitely make another video, or I'll make a video of us sending it off saying it's a dead soldier, and we will replace it with something else. But that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I still sure as hell enjoy making it for you guys. It was great venting, otherwise I probably would have gotten really, really mad. And then Missy would been like, what the fuck is he shouting over here at? You know? So, I'd do a peace out with that hand too, but even after my last visit to the hand therapy, that's still as far down as it wants to go. And you can push on it, and it's like I'm flexing and holding it back, but I'm not. I'm letting that thing sit completely, you know, still. So that might be as good as it ever gets, but I'm stubborn. Like I told the lady, I'll be a 90-year-old man if I live that long, being like, why doesn't my pinky work, damn it? And I'd be sitting there doing all my same exercises I do now. So anyway, we'll just leave you guys with a left-handed peace out, and until the next video.